Hello and welcome to another episode of the Comedians Outlook podcast. I'm Luke Anthony and this is the last of the Uganda specials. And this episode is with none other than actor Philip Luswata. He is best known for his role in the Disney film Queen of Kwate. The film follows the true story of a 10-year-old girl who is poverty-stricken. Her life changes when she gets taught how to play chess by a missionary, which sparks her intrigue in the game, and from there starts her journey out of poverty. It's an amazing film and it's available on Prime Video and DVD, so I highly recommend purchasing that or watching that. If you did listen to my conversation with Jovan in episode 11, you get a snippet of how influential Philip Luswata was on his career. And I'm sure Philip's going to have a lot more influence on many other aspiring actors or comedians' careers in the future. But I thought it was best to hear from the man himself. So for the final Uganda special, I bring you Philip Luswata. Philip, when did you first start acting? How young were you?
I think I started acting from the word go. I was my first acting experience was as Prince Charming in Cinderella and Prince Charming. It was like that, something like that. I must have been like 7.
Yeah.
In standard 3. So if I was playing Prince Charming in standard at 7, then I must have had something quite early.
So was it always a passion? Did you always like being in front of people performing? Was that?
I can't say because I grew up a shy person, so I can't say. But I've always had it within me that I'm a performer.
Yeah.
But there's always the given fear of going to stage. But there's always that urge, that pull that you have. You have to perform. I've never been this kind of kid who says, "Oh, they are visitors, let me perform for them." I'll be the kind of kid who hides behind the chairs when the visitors come. Yeah, but when it comes to performance, I think it's just something in there that just refused to go.
Yeah. It was like instinct. You just knew that it was your calling.
Yeah, I just knew that's what I could do. That's what I understood. That's what comes easy to me, though not easy anymore now that I'm into it quite deep. Yeah.
So when did you know that you could be successful? At what point did you think that actually I could make a real career out of this, not just a hobby?
I'm not going to say much about successful, but I'm going to say everything about deciding that this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And that was in my HSCs, high school, where we were doing science, we were doing so many things. There's so much, and I was really good at sciences, by the way.
Yeah,
better than I was at arts for some time. So, but I always found that whatever when we came to choosing our careers for the future, because you have to tick off something. What do you want to study at the university? There was all this engineering, this what, and I knew how I'd already been struggling with the histories. I've been struggling with the I just knew immediately. I either want to become a painter or an actor. That's all I wanted to do. So I didn't think about the success. I didn't think about the bigger possibilities, because here in Uganda, as you've seen, the bigger possibilities are really hazy. They are really, it's blurred. The industry is very blurred. So you can't really tell where you're headed. But yes, it was in HSC where I made up my mind, because even when you had four choices to make, I made only 2. My first was fine art. My second was theatre, music, dance, and drama.
That's interesting. My father's did fine art. He took that route, and I took the comedy route and the acting route.
I wish my son takes art.
Yeah, I mean, good. So, but you say like the becoming successful is quite grey in Uganda. It's quite difficult to know where you could go or how you could be successful, or if you would be successful in maybe business or accountancy or lawyer or something.
Yeah.
What were your parents' view on you performing, like wanting to perform rather than?
Of course, it's very scary. It's very, very, very scary for my mother, especially because my mother is who was paying my fees. She thought it was crazy that I would make such a choice. She was willing for me to go back either to high school and study again and come up, because the university offered me music, dance and drama.
Yeah.
And she wanted me to go and do something called Bachelor of Science, Hotel Management, Tourism, Hotel Management, and Catering, something like that.
Yeah.
But that wasn't my interest. So she says, no, you can't do that. And at the time when I studied, they only had a diploma. They didn't have the degree like now. These guys, they've done the degree. So you had to do the diploma and then do something else. And I told her, no, Mom, let me do this diploma first, and I have it. I'm ready to sacrifice those 2 years. Then I can do something else that you might want, as long as I have this thing that I also want. So we'll go with what I want first, then we'll do what you want. And luckily enough, by the time I was completing, they introduced the degree as well. So I connected to that, and they say, now you see, you get a diploma and a degree. That's good. Then, of course, in the process, you see, if you're a hardworking student in drama, you become busy instantly. If you understand your talent, you understand your calling, you understand what you're going for, you commit yourself to what you want to do, you start immediately. Because immediately I was already looking for opportunities, and before I knew it, opportunities were looking for me. So I can't say I went out to be successful. I just went out to do what I felt I wanted to do, what I felt I enjoyed doing on a daily.
So you weren't desperate. You weren't like desperate for these things. You just wanted to perform, and the success followed.
Yeah, I've never been desperate.
Yeah.
I always know that if I'm not doing anything at any one given time, it's because I've not put my head into it. It's because I'm not saying walk.
See, it's interesting that you say like anyone with the right attitude could be successful, but I think that the way you went about it is quite unique in the sense that you probably put a lot more heart and soul into it than a lot of comedians actors who just wanted to be successful. They saw the success or the millions of pounds or whatever, the Hollywood before they saw doing the hard work, doing the free short films, doing all the difficult theatre productions. So I think it's quite refreshing that you're that humble to think that anyone could do it. But I don't think so. I think you're clearly one of a kind, and that's reflected in your success in Uganda at least.
Well, thank you, but I really do believe that your biggest investment in our business is attitude. Your biggest investment in our business is attitude. Otherwise, you might come with all these tables, like they ask you, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself? I don't see myself anywhere in 5 years. I see myself here today doing something that I want to do. I see myself moving forward as I understand. And I wish, and right now I think I've got to that point where you really need to think about the business strategically, like you're saying, where you have 5-year plans and all that. And that has come at the point of success, where now you need to manage the success. So, but at the beginning, I teach students in acting and theatre, and you see people who are overzealous. And this child is potentially talented, but here in Uganda, considering the things you have to jump over to make it, you'll have so much heartbreak if you have huge goals. So
you have to keep them realistic
and small, and tackle each small goal at a time. And when you get something small, like I always tell people, I take whiskey, and I don't want to sit down and drink unless I've achieved something. So I want to drink as a way of rewarding myself. So I might just write a sentence. I say a bright sentence. I say, no, this sentence, I might do something with it in future. So today I can drink because I've achieved that little thing.
So I think that speaking about how the trying to limit expectations or aspirations in Uganda brings me on to a really interesting subject, because you've obviously worked with Walt Disney to do Queen of Katwe. And I just wondered how I spoke to Jovan, one of your team, about this, and he was saying that when such companies come over to Uganda to cast, it can be you can roll a dice, and whoever picks the correct number could be the one that goes. How did you put yourself out there to get that role in Queen of Katwe that did so well?
Well, for me, I'll tell you, I always go out, not because I've never been successful at auditions. I'm not the most successful person at auditions. Most of the roles I've got that have put me where I am have been someone calling me, "Hey, Philip, come and do this," because they know what I can do.
Yeah.
And they've seen me doing other things. But for such big projects, of course, you have to audition.
Yeah.
And, the same thing I'll tell you. I never put too much expectations. I always go thinking, appreciating that let them see me, let them have me in their camera somewhere. Maybe in future they'll remember, there's that guy whom we filmed.
Yeah.
He looks like this he-goat we want to cast. So we'll get him. Yeah, I always think about the bigger picture when it comes to those small things. So not necessarily that I'm expecting to be cast, because I'm not really very successful at auditions. But I want to have the opportunity. I want to be part of the chance. I don't want to say I didn't try.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But
if you tried your best and failed, at least you were there and you attended.
Yes.
Yeah. And do you know the film Slumdog Millionaire?
Yes, I've seen it. Yes.
And there were lots of, in that particular film, they used a lot of locals from where they filmed it.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about it, some of the cast that played some of the smaller roles in it, they didn't get a fair deal with some of the money. I just wondered how Walt Disney supported the Ugandan cast in that film, because it's obviously based on Katwe, the town.
Well, what I saw, Walt Disney, at least this was the first time when we all got a big opportunity, to see majority cast of Ugandans. Most Ugandan films have been made about Idi Amin. They brought Kenyans, they brought South Africans, they brought Americans. We've never had Ugandans, and yet we've always had very great talent, acting talent. Our theatrical talent, like here in Uganda, is far better than Kenyan theatrical talent. But we've never had...
Do you know what's really funny you said that? Because Agnes Akita, who I've just spoken to, said exactly the same thing you said just then.
Yeah, that's very true. But you see, the Kenyans always tend to take the upper hand. So for us as Ugandans, the very first thing we appreciated was the opportunity to do our own film, to star in our own film, in an international film about us. And I think that's the bigger success. Then, of course, I guess when it comes to the deal was not so bad compared to where we are. Like now you see the star of the film, she's a local girl, she came from down there, and she's really well taken care of now. Her life turned around,
Wow, so her life went from bad to amazing.
Yeah, and it is still, you can see there is still concern for her. Even the other kids. I don't think there is anyone who came out of the Queen of Katwe feeling shortchanged. And maybe it comes also down to the fact that Mira Nair is partly Ugandan. So she understands what it means to be a Ugandan, and what it means to reward a Ugandan.
That's really refreshing, That's really nice to hear, because it's important that, especially a program, especially a film that's about the area that you're casting for, has to be local. I just wondered, actually, how true was the story to real life? Do you know how accurate it was to what life was like is like in Katwe?
That's the life. That's the life. Everything about it was really true and original. I think the play was, the story was well presented. Of course, there's dramatic license. You have to give it. And then, of course, there's the sadness that the Uganda government didn't offer the kind of support at the time that they needed, where they had to shoot some of the material from South Africa rather than on the ground here. But they did really try.
But they have to do that for continuity and stuff. That's all. For the set, and I guess it's important. Did they help the local community with any funds or anything at all, with support or?
Queen of Katwe, I'm not so sure, but I do know that most of the services were being offered by local companies.
Right.
So it wasn't that someone has been flown in. The casting is by a local company, managing everything. There were local companies managing the whole production.
That's really good. That's really good to hear. So I'm just going to bring this on really to the Playwrights Playhouse, which is, from what I've heard speaking to Jovan and reading in the the press and stuff, it's a really, really good initiative. And I just wonder what inspired it in the first place.
Rebellion.
Yes. Is that because the difficulty it is for some actors or writers or directors to get work, that you wanted to create a community where they all can have equal opportunity.
That's what we wanted. We wanted for once to be the ones who, because right now the theaters are being run by commercially minded people who don't think like us, people who do not value the commercial potential of these small projects. Because everything must start from somewhere. I cannot bring you something that is already at the top.
No.
You must accept something that is growing up, an experiment. See where it's taking you, appreciate what is inside there, and help it grow, and then make money out of it. But then you're not going to. It's like your father. The moment you turn 10, says now you can walk, you can do what. You should also start working and contributing money in the house, instead of grooming you to be your own independent man. So that's what our theaters, especially the National, has been doing to us here. It's not been giving us opportunity. And we are creatives. I'm a playwright as well. And I've written so many plays that are gathering dust in my shelf. So when God was gracious to, bring us into contact with a little money, and you say, the option is I can buy a good car out of this, or I can make a statement with this money. And making a statement is a bigger achievement. So we are making a big statement to the world. We are still struggling. You can see we are struggling. But we'll get there. People will like what we're doing. Because we are genuine, we are committed, and we are authentic in how we are thinking. And we are saying that Ugandan young people, even older people, we only tend to think about people in the middle age, the ones who are running the industry.
Yeah.
But the elderly, there are elderly people who want to write, but they are saying, who's going to listen to me?
They're forgotten in the corner.
There are children who want to write. Who is going to listen to them? And then there are the youth who are struggling to enter into the industry, to become relevant in the industry.
Because of their age and the exploitation.
Yes. Yeah. So that's why we come with a stage. We say that's what you need, number one. What else does an actor need? An actor might need fame. So maybe in this space we are in now, we can do sitcoms that actors...
Onto YouTube or onto Facebook or...
Anyway, so that you are somewhere out there being relevant. Rather than saying, I'm seated at the National Theatre, that thing there outside, waiting for opportunity to come to me. You can bring opportunity to yourself, and that's what the Playwrights Playhouse is about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at... I was fortunate enough to enter into a couple of your meetings that you've had with your team and everything, and just seeing the vast amount of cities and towns that you're outreaching to get to, like, young children from, like, primary and secondary is amazing. So you're doing some amazing outreach work as well. So some kids that go to, like, poor schools and poor areas that are having the opportunities to be creative is amazing.
Yeah, and the bigger goal with that, we do love the children yet. Yes, we do believe that they need to be exposed to art, yes, but we do also want them to support us in future. Yeah. We do not think that this Playwrights Playhouse is going to close after Luswata has left.
No, that's true.
We hope it's something that will keep going on. And if we have reached out to these little kids early enough, they will grow up knowing about us, and even they will grow with the feeling that I want to join those guys, or if I want to go and continue watching the theatre, and they'll keep us going, and they also go back and play for the kids. So we also have a selfish motive in reaching out to these young people, to the kids. Yeah,
that's quite interesting, because a lot of these initiatives like Playwrights Playhouse or National Theatres or different places start very small as well.
Yeah.
So they often start with the same concept that you have. I just wonder, going forward, and I'm sure this will get traction and hit the ground running and go to success and bring money to all those people that contribute and everything to this, or their time. How do you plan to stay humble? How do you plan to keep this on the ground and still keep giving opportunities to young people when there are so many other opportunities to go elsewhere or to make more money and stuff? You have to remain almost selfless in that sense, because as the founder and, like, the director of this business, you're going to get offered a lot of opportunities for yourself. And how do you plan to keep it on the ground?
Well, I've told these guys, this is my bigger sacrifice for the next 2 years. But these guys need to learn how to take over. So even the way we run the Playhouse is that at first, when one of our meetings here, everyone said, we were asking why aren't things moving? Why is nothing being done? Why are we slow? We all know what we need to do, but no one is doing it. And the problem that came up was that Philip was not around. Philip was not consulted.
I see.
Philip didn't say. Philip didn't what. So we had one full meeting of like 3 hours where we were saying, how do we eliminate Philip? And so we all agreed how Philip is eliminated. And I think you can see that Philip is eliminated. So the guys are running the business. Everyone is doing their own thing.
They have autonomy, they have responsibilities, they have like a department they can concentrate, or a part they can. So you're giving them like freedom to grow and to help grow I guess it is a business in a sense, but it's more like I say initiative because to me it feels like a community project where everyone's carrying each other.
Yeah.
And you're growing together, and not one person is going to be more successful than the others. They were going to use each other to elevate each other's careers and to bring together. And it's so beautiful to hear that, because you hear of so many things, so much corruption in like Africa, parts of Africa. I know Uganda is particularly better than a lot of other places, but it's really nice that there's such a genuine love and support for people coming through in the industry, and such a difficult industry as well.
Yeah.
You know, I know myself, being a comedian and being an actor, that it's a slog, and you're having to work hard every day to just, pay the bills and stuff, sending hundreds of emails just to get one back, maybe one opportunity.
That's true.
So to me, that really warms my heart to know that there is an initiative in Uganda, and it's not the West. It's not the US, it's not the UK sending people over that are going to take an unfair proportion and make the money in UK. It's a local company that is growing together, and it is for the people of the local community, and it's by the people of the local community. So just say congrats on that, really.
Thank you very much. We call it a business because we've always thought if you don't call it a business, you might forget that you need to raise money. And then you might end up doing so many of these free things. Like now, this thing of going to the schools. We spend more money going to the schools than we earn. And you can see we do not have the funds. But we still go. So we always put it in our heads that now we must think like businessmen.
You have to.
In case nobody supports us, how do we support ourselves? Yeah, so that's why we look at it. We're not business people, though. No. We wish somebody could come that understands business better than us and run it for us in a business-minded way.
Yeah,
I've seen that's one thing where we're lacking. But one guy came to me yesterday.
And creators that are never the best businessmen.
No, they're not good business people. We are not good business people generally. We know what we want. If it was a businessman, this place would be up and running. But you see, we are still looking for perfection.
Yeah,
we're still looking for that thing that once we start, we must be somewhere. Because we can't afford to lose. We can't we can't take it as a risk.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I look forward to coming back next time into Uganda and actually coming here. I mean, I'll bring Anne Simia and maybe Tuma Simia and Agnes Akite, and we'll try and do some sort of sketches with you and everything. So I'll certainly send anyone I know in Uganda this way to use your guys to film, and so they can write sketches for us and stuff. So I like even bringing the comedian here today. Hopefully that will help. With that, because if they've got a name and some support, they can sort of help raise the others and stuff. But
true, you'll be surprised that Anne Kansimi started with us in much the same way like these guys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. Yeah, very humble. And one of the things I was joking with Jovan was that you're saying yesterday you're unavailable to talk because you had lectures at Makerere University.
Yeah,
I don't imagine you need to teach, but it seems that it's your calling, and I guess this ties right in with your initiative for this business for the Playwrights Playhouse.
Yeah,
because you're doing it purely for the love.
Yes, I love teaching. I enjoy teaching. I like working with my students. Well, I don't know. If I wasn't teaching, what else would I be doing? I would be doing this even if I wasn't at Makerere and I was just here. Still, I would be teaching.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
and that's the bigger dream also we have for this place, that we need to develop the playwrights we want to create for us.
Yeah, yeah.
So we also need to develop the talent that we want to put on stage. And being at the university is an advantage in that you get exposed to this talent, and then you get to develop them at the government's expense. Then you give them opportunity outside and see how they handle that. So there's a lot of opportunity in being a teacher as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's also it's a resource for casting as well.
Yeah,
I guess. I'm absolutely certain this is going to be a success, and I will put any information on our website. So if you have any information about this Playwrights Playhouse, anything, I can put it all in the show notes below the episode. So, keep an eye out for this. Watch this space, because I think this is going to grow. But for now, thank you so much for joining me, Philip, and I really look forward to seeing your projects in the future.
Thank you too, Luke.
So that amazing conversation with Philip concludes the Uganda specials, and I really hope they are intriguing for you as well. Philip's an awesome guy, and the Playwrights Playhouse is an amazing initiative, and I really look forward to seeing its success. Please check out the episode notes. There are links to the trailer of Queen of Kwate and links to where you can purchase it. I will also keep the information up to date in the episode notes as they develop the Playwrights Playhouse, because as you heard, it's quite early days, and any upcoming projects that they do, I'll also update on that too. I'm going to do a brief post-amble in a moment for you, because I feel like I'd love to sum up the 3 episodes in one go. So please stay tuned for that. One of the interesting things about doing this podcast is that I very rarely know where a conversation is going to go. I do a lot of research and I prepare questions and all sorts in preparation for these conversations, but I actually never know where the conversation is going to go, and I love the beauty of it. And I very rarely get to the end of the questions that I've prepared, because the conversations often take interesting tangents and off routes and all sorts of stuff, and it's fascinating by any stretch of the measure. But I guess we all have expectations before we meet people, and after doing the amazing conversations with Agnes, Jovan and Philip, it became quickly apparent that they have this undying desire to give to other people, to help elevate other people's careers and lives. And it's interesting, because I never expected to get that out of these interviews. But when I used to write assignments, lecturers would say, back up your findings with evidence and primary research. Well, here I was in Uganda, fascinated by an industry, speaking to actors and comedians in their country about their lives and about their perspective on the entertainment industry. And there couldn't have been more first-hand research done, in the sense that each of them came to me with similar concepts that they want to, like Agnes with the Arise Women, giving to charity that way and giving opportunities to women in comedy. And then Jovan being a part of, the Playwrights Playhouse and sort of shadowing Philip Luswata's career and development, and then wanting to take his career to a place where he can then give to other actors who are lesser known than himself. And then speaking to Philip Luswata and speaking to the man that created and founded the Playwrights Playhouse, and that you get a real sense of selflessness. I feel an overwhelming sense of faith in humanity after doing those 3 episodes. And we live in such a greedy world. Us Brits take so much for granted and often expect credit for doing something charitable. But I was so humbled and moved by the selflessness of these 3 professionals. Each of them spoke passionately about the hope to make a difference to other people's lives. And it gives me confidence that as a nation, Uganda has a bright future.